Hello and welcome back to Foxy TV episode 145. In this episode we have two installs to show you. The first, Bianca is going to walk us through a low-set brick home in Daisy Hill.
I'm thinking I'm going to have the couch kind of floating in the space here.
And the second, Cassie is going to show us an apartment we styled in Hamilton that had angled walls to deal with.
Yeah, we've just had to make sure that everything is very level and even and looks straight, even though everything's kind of on a slant.
And we're also going to hear from Phoebe on the topic of DIY staging versus a home staging service and the differences between the two.
Number two is the cost of actually going out to purchase everything versus the cost to hire.
To start things off, let's head to Daisy Hill for our first install. All right, it's Friday morning here in Daisy Hill. We've just arrived here. Got a nice, I'll turn this camera around. Nice low set home that we'll be styling this morning. The truck should be arriving any minute. And then the stylist as well. It's a big living and dining. Interested to see what Bianca does here. And I think we've got 3 bedrooms up here. I'm not sure if we're styling all 3. That's the master. And the third, but we'll see how it all comes together.
Well, it is a really long space, and obviously, if you know about a bunch of our Foxy rules, like not walking to the back of the couch or straight into a TV. But sometimes you've got to break some of them. So unfortunately today, I'm thinking I'm going to have the couch kind of floating in the space here, especially it being a chase. And then having our console along the wall when you walk in. I think that will just keep it more open, but also functional. And then I'm joining you.
Now on to our main topic of the episode, the differences between DIY staging versus utilising the services of a home staging company.
So there are a couple of things to consider, and this is what, so we do a complimentary consultation because we can go in, have a really good chat to a vendor, and then we'll present our ideas regardless of whether or not they're going to go down a paid avenue styling or if maybe they just take our ideas on and do it themselves. And through those discussions, what I find the most common reasons, so someone will be like, oh, look, I just don't know if it makes sense. I could go buy some bits and pieces. There's 3 factors that'll make somebody go down the path of going down a styling, engaging a stylist. So actually there's kind of 4, but so first is going to be, I don't actually even know what colour my new house is going to be. So if you, for example, go and dress your home as it is right now, looking absolutely beautiful, when you haven't purchased your new home and you've gone and purchased all these brand new items that are for your gorgeous boho cream colour home, and you go and the house you fall in love with is grey and contemporary, and it's not going to work. So that is one of the biggest comments most people will have, is I just don't know, is it worth me going to buy it because I don't know if I'm even going to be able to use this in my new home. Number 2 is the cost of actually going out to purchase everything versus the cost to hire. So when you hire items, the cost to hire is broken down, like it's not the same as what you go and purchase. Obviously, to go out and purchase everything, it's going to cost a whole lot more than it is to hire. Even with things like stylist hours, delivery insurance, all those sort of things being added in there. And it's something that has surprised a lot of people. So for example, if you go and dress a bed, you go buy, and you can go to Target, you can go to Kmart and buy the cushions, the linen, the Euro pillows, the throw rugs and some bedside lamps and a piece of artwork that will normally, they're the pieces that we normally hire in because they're the things that people don't normally have. And you're looking at easily $200 to have that styled from a Kmart level, when you have the same number of cushions on there as what we would. Then to hire, you're looking at just over $100 for that room. And you will get a higher level quality of finish than we will if we go to Kmart. So not to downplay Kmart, but it is definitely more cost effective to go down the higher path. So then if I can sort of expand on point 3, which sort of expands on point 2, being that you do get a higher quality finish. So when we're chasing a higher price point, and we style our gorgeous home with a level of furnishing that is from Kmart, it is already very familiar to people. It's all the same. There's nothing special, nothing stand out about what we style our home with when it comes from more of those retail chains. When we style it using some more products that are from wholesale suppliers and from boutique suppliers, that's when our home starts to become more memorable. That's when we have pieces on the wall that people will specifically remember, when we fall in love with areas of the home because of the way that they are furnished. So that's point number 3. Point number 4 is time. So by the time we come through, have a really great discussion with somebody, they have the confidence that we can basically do what they were hoping. It is just so much easier for somebody to say, come and do it please in 2 hours the morning of photography, and it's just going to save you so much more time. So they're the 4 main points that I find people will have those discussions with us.
Eva recently wrote an article on this topic, DIY staging versus utilising the services of a home staging company, where she actually broke down the cost item per item. So if you're interested in reading that, the link to that article will be in the description of this video. Unless you're on Instagram, go to our Instagram profile, and the link there will take you to the article. To finish up this week's episode, we are heading to the inner city suburb of Hamilton for an install.
In a 3-bedroom unit in Hamilton, 1 living, so pretty much the only challenge in here, it's a beautiful floor plan, is the bold colour in the kitchen. So obviously we've had to do soft and neutral colours everywhere else, so we've gone with black and whites everywhere, and obviously just pops of green everywhere to kind of blend it in with all the trees and the beautiful scenery. But yeah, very red kitchen that we've kind of had to tone down, so we've gone with kind of subtle accessories and pretty much subtle colours everywhere else. And then there are lots of angles everywhere in this house. So I don't know if you noticed, but everything is kind of on a slight slant, on purpose, of course. So yeah, we've just had to make sure that everything is very level and even and looks straight, even though everything's kind of on a slant, because the rooms are all kind of triangles almost. So yeah, there's little slopes everywhere in the ceiling lines and everything. So nice architectural details, but kind of makes things a bit more challenging for when we're lining everything up.
That is it for this week's episode. Next week, we have a bunch of new team members to introduce you to, 6 in total. We've been quietly building the team here at Foxy Home Staging. Some of these have been here for a couple of months now, but we haven't done a proper introduction, so it is about time. And we had, I believe, 3 new starters this week alone. So until then, thank you so much for watching.